Hello everyone. This is our second problem solving session on physics for IIT JEE 2011 paper 2. In this session we'll be discussing 10 problems. Let us see what the first problem says. Which of the following statement are correct? Let us read out the first statement. A. If the electric field due to a point charge varies as r to the power minus 5 by 2 instead of r to the power minus 2, then the Gauss law will still be valid. Okay, now we know that Gauss law has something to say about the electric flux. An electric flux is the total number of electric field lines passing through a given enclosed surface. So if you have any kind of surface, right, and if you wish to find out the total number of electric field lines, the total number of electric field lines is the electric flux. Now it is a very common sense approach that area dA, let us say you have charge kept here and you have a small elemental area, very small area, this area, then this area dA is proportional to r square, right? More the distance, more will be the area, if r is this distance. Now electric field if is proportional to r to the power minus 5 by 2, then if you wish to find out the flux, then you need to integrate the electric field with the small areas ds, and since this ds and this E, if you substitute the values in terms of proportionality, since electric field is proportional to 1 upon r to the power 5 by 2 and area A or ds, that will be proportional to r square, so there is no scope for these to cancel out. Your flux will not become independent of r, and since it will not become independent of r, so this flux, the total flux through the system, cannot be independent of the distance r, and so it does not solely depend upon the charge, whereas the Gauss theorem clearly states that it is only dependent on the charge enclosed and not on the configuration of charge. So first statement cannot be true. So this A cannot be true. Now let us look at the statement B. The Gauss law can be used to calculate the field distribution around an electric dipole. From the discussion that we had in discussing point A, the same logic can be applied to point B, and therefore we cannot find out the field distribution around an electric dipole. It can only tell you that the total flux around the electric dipole is 0. That means the amount of electric field lines entering into the enclosed surface and the total number of electric field lines leaving the enclosed surface will be equal, but you cannot have clear-cut indication of how the fields are distributed. Now let us look at statement C. If the electric field between 2 point charges is 0 somewhere, then the sign of the two charges is same. This is but obvious. If you have two charges and you have a point P somewhere where the electric field is 0, then the only possibility is that these two charges should be of the same nature, because if you plot the electric field of charge 1 and if you plot the electric field of charge 2, they should be in mutually opposite directions, right? Let's say if both the charges are positive, then this is the kind of distribution, and then there is a possibility of these electric field lines cancelling out each other somewhere in between, right? If both are negative, then electric field due to 1 and electric field due to 2 will be again in the opposite direction, and there is a possibility of these two cancelling out each other. So in both the cases, the sign of the two charges has to be same. So this statement C is correct. So C is correct. Now let us look at the option D. The work done by the external force in moving a unit positive charge from point A at potential VA to point B at potential VB is VB minus VA. Now, if you have a point A and you have another point B, potential here is VA, potential here is VB, and if you take it along any path, then in that case the amount of work done will be equal to Q into change in potential difference. But this statement can only be written when you have the only conservative electric field present. If you have third field or some another type of non-conservative field, then this statement will not hold true. Okay, are you getting the point? So you will not have same work done. This work done VB minus VA will only be true if only conservative force field is available. And you may be aware that in case of electromagnetic induction, when the flux through a area, let us say some magnetic field lines are passing through it and they are changing with respect to time, that means there is some rate of change of flux passing through that area, then there is a loop at which there is a non-conservative electric field, right? And in such cases, work done in moving across the loop will not be zero. So statement 3 is not always correct. Is that clear? So we have only option C as correct. Now let us look at the second problem. A series RC circuit is connected to a AC voltage source. There is an R and then there is a C. It is connected to a AC source. This is R, this is C. Now we have to consider two cases. In first case, C is without a dielectric medium. This is your case A. In case B, you have one more arrangement where dielectric is inserted between the two, and it has a dielectric constant 4. So capacitance, if you compare this with here, capacitance because of insertion of dielectric will be 4C with same R, right? Now let us look at the situation. The current IR through the resistor and the voltage VC across the capacitor as compared in the two cases, which of the following is true? Now since this is connected to a AC voltage, so the point which is of importance is the impedance Z and reactance, capacitive reactance offered by the capacitor. Now both of them are connected to same AC source, therefore their omega has to be same. Omega or the frequency is same, and XC is given by 1 upon omega C. Now if you compare this XC in case A and if you compare XC in case B, since capacitance C is more in second case, so the reactance is less. Also Z is equal to under root of R square plus XC square. Now since Z A, if you compare with Z B, since this is more, so this also has to be more. Now if the impedance offered by the RC combination is more, then the current passing through in circuit A and current passing through in circuit B will have this kind of bearing, right? So current in this case is more, in the case B is more, and it is less in this case. Now from the situation you can clearly write that B is correct, right? And also since the value of now let us again see the situation. CA is less than CB. It is C and this is 4C because dielectric is inserted between the plates. So this is clear. Therefore the reactance, capacitive reactance will be more in case A as compared to B. If this is clear, then impedance ZA will be more than ZB, right? Because impedance is given by this thing. Now current through the RC circuit is given by V by Z. Therefore the current in the B case will be more because the impedance is less. And since impedance is less, if you try to find out the potential drop across the capacitor, this total voltage V is distributed among VR and VC. Now in case A, since the current is less, so the voltage drop across the resistor will be less. VC is given by under root of applied voltage squared minus voltage drop across the resistor. Now in the first case, or in the case A, since the value of current is less, so VR will also be less, and if this is less, then voltage drop across the capacitor has to be more. So statement, this statement is correct. So you have B and C as the correct options. This was again a very simple problem.